You ready to draft power forwards? Because we'll go back and forth officially. It's your turn to go first this time.
It's my turn to go first. Okay.
Yes. Can I just
yes.
stress this one more time to people listening? If you go to Basketball Reference, any player's Basketball Reference page, if you scroll down to right below adjusted shooting, there's a play-by-play section. And the second column is positional estimate. And it gives you the percentages of what a player has been for most of this season. We're going by their most recent season because there's one that's going to have some injury questions. We're going by their most recent season. So this year, what their positional estimate is as far as how they qualify for a power forward. So I'll say all of that. And then I say, John, your first pick is...
Hold on. One last question.
Okay.
Before we begin. One last question before we begin. Well, no, I guess it's not. So if a player hasn't played this year, we're going by
last year.
Yeah. But again, so we are drafting. So this is just repeating what we've done before. We are drafting for who do you want on your team from now until the end of this season. This is not who you're building your team around. This is not who you want on your team for the next 10 years or the next 5 years or the next 2 years. This is who you want on your team for the rest of the season. And this is, I guess, where it gets tricky. You are taking the risk of if this player may not appear on the court for the rest of the season.
This is why I now know your first pick, which I was wondering if you'd go a different direction, but now I know your first pick.
Look, I would have picked him anyway. My first pick is Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he would have been my first pick even if Kevin Durant. I mean, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. At some point, Kevin Durant's going to get picked in this thing because he's played whatever percentage of minutes he's played at.
60% of it, more than Giannis actually.
More than Giannis. Wow.
56% of Giannis's minutes have been at power forward. He's played a lot
and the
of
rest at center. Yeah,
that's the thing. He's played a lot of center. Durant's at 60% though.
Yeah. So I'm making Giannis with the Durant injury, you could. Can you argue it's more obvious than Jokic or Steph?
Only because there's one other player that I don't know that there's an argument. I think Giannis was the clear number one.
Okay.
Because of Durant's injury.
Okay. So
I thought knowing your affection and your appreciation for Kevin Durant, then maybe you'd go him number one. But
listen.
What?
I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. Kevin Durant is arguably the best shot creator one of the top 5 shot creators in the history of the sport. Mm-hmm. It is a shot creation league as much as it ever has been. It is a shooting league as much as it ever has been. He is literally unable to be guarded by anyone because he's 7 feet tall and he can shoot from, wherever he wants. Like, that, all that said, I am not sleeping on Giannis. I think a lot of Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Well done.
Thank you.
So now you give me an interesting choice because now do I take the guy that for the entire season I've been waiting for the injury to happen, and then it happened like right before we were about to do this draft. And
do you want to take your victory lap or
I don't want because I don't. The problem with any victory lap is that the injury wasn't like wear and tear. Like it was a fluke. Teammate falls into leg, sprains his knee. You can argue all it took was like he was waiting for any kind of contact and it would have hurt. But like the LeBron injury last year, and then all of a sudden it became he's injury prone. It's like, or Solomon Hill fell on his leg and he got hurt. Like if Solomon Hill falls a foot to his left, then LeBron doesn't get hurt. And we have no idea when LeBron would have went down, which is why I'm going to give Durant the benefit of the doubt here. I still now wonder with the wear and tear that's been on his leg. I mean, I still wonder if like the recovery time is going to be the same, like last year, he just took the whole regular season off, basically played 35 games, then came back and was ready for the playoffs.
So again, I mean, look, we don't have to get into this much nuance, but like, is the goal of this to pick the player who is going to give us the best chance to win a championship this season? If we were starting our theoretical team, like
I think
with this player. Okay. So if that's it, then like, Does it matter if he doesn't? Like, if you think he's going to be able to come back to the playoffs and beat Kevin Durant and he doesn't play another regular season game, then I don't think it matters. Like,
I think it does matter. Because I'm also factoring in, like, I'm taking his teammates away. And like I'm saying,
yes.
He will fit better with other players. Having said that, if this is a week ago, he'd be my pick. But I'm going to let you roll the dice. And this is where you go in first helps again, because you're going to get Giannis and Durant on your team, I think. There's another player that has played more at power forward than you'd think than Kevin Durant. Actually, he's played 61% of his available minutes, has a 58% true shooting for the year. And I don't know if you've ever heard of him. His name is LeBron James. And since I'm taking teammates out of it,
you faked me out. I was like,
I don't know. Since I'm taking teammates out of it, look, is it crazy to say that like one of the top 3 players you'd want on your team come playoff time is LeBron James? The fact that Durant is now currently in a state of injury, and I have to factor in the Achilles of it all, I'll take LeBron with my first pick.
I would have taken LeBron.
Okay.
I mean, if it were me. That being said, I mean, now it's just about, do I want to get cute or not? I've
already crossed them off.
I have my own sheet. I'm not even looking at your sheet.
I'm just saying I'd already crossed them off. I don't like as if I think you're going to take him is what I'm saying.
I can't get cute here. Yeah. I'll take Kevin Durant.
Because even if what happens last year happens this year, where he just takes the rest of the season off, that's
the thing. It's like
they might get a 5 seed, and that might actually help them out because then their full roster is available for a game 7 because they're on the road for all game 7s.
Yeah.
And then Durant is perfectly rested, and you get the Durant we got last year in the playoffs and this year's playoffs, which might actually work out for the better for them.
That's an argument. Yeah, no, that's an argument.
Well, it's a Clipper argument. When you don't have a home court advantage to take advantage of, then it doesn't matter what seed you are, you know?
That is. That's an interesting. Yeah, that's a little bit of an adjustment for this. Yes, I no disagreement. So I'm taking KD.
Yeah. Now it gets interesting.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything because
So we are factoring in playoffs here, right?
Again, it's who do you like
for a championship?
It's not like who do you want on your team for the rest of this regular season, and that's all we're considering. That's
where it gets interesting, and it's why my next pick, a guy that's played 79% of his available minutes at power forward. Strangely enough, despite only taking 5 shots a game, is at 58% true shooting. Not true shooting, a 58% effective field goal percentage. And arguably the best defensive player in the league when you factor in that he could guard your center, your power forward, and all other positions on the floor. I'll go Draymond here with my second pick. 3-time NBA champion. Draymond Green.
Thank you. You love you. You should like. Why do you even have Knicks?
It should be Warriors Film School.
It should just you see if there's an opening on the what is it, the Light Years podcast? Maybe
if they're looking for a producer, you have to outbid John. But you know that crazier things have happened. Am I not allowed to be an admirer of the current dynasty that like exists in the NBA? You could say it ended when KD left, but. Yeah, I'm a very big admirer of what the Warriors have done. They built a dynasty out of the 7th, 11th, and 36th pick.
They not stumbled upon, but I mean, he went fucking 7th. They stumbled upon the most game-changing skill that has come across the world of sport since, I mean, I don't know. What do you want me to say? Like since Babe Ruth started hitting home runs? Like I literally don't know. No, I mean, Johnny Unitas' arm or something.
No. Babe Ruth home runs is close.
No, it's like Ruth's home runs. like how Unitas redefined the quarterback position. Like, I don't know hockey well enough. Like Tiger Woods. Okay. Tiger Woods on the golf course. That's so it's like, but Curry shooting is in that conversation. And then they figured out who were the two players who, if you could pick from a pool of literally everybody, you could argue that those two guys were the best complementary guys to that skill set. Any pushback I ever give on their individual greatness is purely based off of like, you can't talk about Draymond without talking about Steph. That's all. That's all.
And I'm saying that now, look, the case against Draymond is the 14% usage rate. This is under.
Yes,
this is when you're talking about playoffs. This is a other side of the court argument. If there is one player that I want on the floor, probably we're taking Kawhi out of the mix because for factoring injury, then I have to take Kawhi out.
Well, he's not a power forward.
But like, that's what I'm saying in general, like not just power forward. If you're taking any player defensively that I want on the other side of the court, when I need a big stop at the end of the game, or just like a guy to run my defense, that is where I go Draymond. Like, because this is more consistent, not with my Warriors love. This is more consistent with my Ben Wallace, my Dennis Rodman, like my guys that can't really fill up a box score argument. Like that is more what I'm appreciating.
No, it's
in Draymond.
You're fine. Listen, I'm giving you shit because I like to give you shit.